Good Tuesday morning, Top Gun Options. I am back from around the world, man. Out in Colorado last week for a speech to keynote to Whirlpool. Got some good intel on what's going on out there, and it sucks. And then got back late last night from Norwich University. My boy is a college graduate, and just had an incredible weekend. Got to see my mom, and she's good spirits. Just what a great weekend. Just God is great and very blessed. Okay, let's go ahead and let me brief some admin stuff, and we will get. We have a lot to talk about. I think my standing orders before I left were what? Sell the rips, do not buy any dip. So that is the standing orders, and that's going to keep going for a long time. So told you, sell every rip, do not buy any dip until further notice, and it looks like that worked out. Hopefully everybody closed that SPX bear put spread that we had on there. Told you that 4,100 was looking pretty good, and it blew right through that 4,150. So hopefully everybody got out of that one. Okay, administratively, we are getting closer, man. It is May 28th, Boca Raton, God's Waiting Room. We're going to screen Maverick, and we're going to do a first look, about a 15-minute little snippet into our No Fallen Heroes documentary. Talking to the production team, he's like, "Dude, there ain't going to be a dry eye in the house," and I'm not going to see it. I'm going to see it when we all see it. The little 15-minute snippet. So this is May Maverick month. This is going to be huge, folks. I don't think too many people know the how massive this is going to be. Last week when I was in Colorado, they did a screening for critics. Every critic, not one negative review. Even the people who were like, this shit's cheesy. I was blown away. I cried. The flying scenes are incredible. Even people who were getting ready to pan it were like, we can't. So this thing is going to be massive. So this is awesome, right? So here's our No Fallen Heroes. This is just a splash page where you can watch the official trailer, and we can start capturing folks who want to be part of our movement here, which is great. Got my 22 a day shirt on today. We also have 22aday.com, and that redirects to here right now. So. Okay, but I need your help. And Tamara just said she hooked me up. I need everybody right now. If you have a Facebook page right now while we're in this webinar, you need to go to No Fallen Heroes and click like. We got to get some. This is kind of a soft launch of our social media, and it's usually to family and friends. So we can get some likes and traction before you go super blasting out to the whole world. After Maverick, we're going to super blast out to the whole world. So please, right now, go and like the TGO Facebook page, and then I need you to go, if you have an Instagram account, go like or follow our Instagram page. Need that. We need to start building traffic on all these properties so we can start really getting this thing going here. So please go over to Instagram and follow that. And then the final property I need you to do is if you're on Twitter. It was awesome being on Twitter all last night and this morning. Apparently, Democrats are back to being able to define what a woman is. It's not a birthing person today. It's a woman. And, of course, the way I think, I've been all over Twitter going, don't know if you guys have been keeping up on current events, but men can have babies now, so we have opinions too. And, of course, maybe that'll get my 6th Twitter account taken down. So please do all of this right now. So we can start getting some traction. Tell your family, tell your friends. Yeah, exactly, a biologist. Not a meteorologist, but it's raining out. I mean, it's been incredible watching Twitter all morning. If you really, even I have liberal friends, Democrats, shockingly, but I do. I love everybody. But even them over a beer will go, it was horrible law. Roe versus Wade is bad law. All the Supreme Court is doing is correcting its bad law and throw it back to the states. Why? Why are people? They're overturning Roe and back alley abortions. And women are going to die. None of that will happen. All it's going to do is create redder and bluer states. You want abortion, you want high taxes, you want illegal immigrant, you want wide open borders, you want high crime, you don't want DAs to prosecute criminals. Go live in those places. All this is doing is correcting bad law, but it's just great sitting on. I'd really, kick it back to the states, get it out of the national conversation. But the fact that this leaked is a crime. If it's not a physical crime, it's actually it's there. You want to talk about an insurrection? Leaking a Supreme Court decision, which has never happened in history, trying to threaten judges to threaten their families. So if you try and overturn the results of an election, you're an insurrection. But if you try and overturn the results of this ruling, you're a hero, right? So whoever leaked this is a disgusting human being, but they'll be on CNN and MSNBC soon as a contributor and all that stuff. So, well, so Mark, that's because we don't have that many followers yet. You gotta. I did this with the TGO page, man. I remember going from 1 to 20,000, and it's a pain in the butt. So you got to search at or just No Fallen Heroes. You should be able to go to No Fallen Heroes on Facebook and find it. Hopefully, that needs to be fixed. But again, this is good. All right, and then Instagram, and then Twitter. But it's insane. These people just froth at the mouth. I mean, the grooming children and murder. We need some sort of healing moment. I mean, we really do need a healing moment. I am personally against abortion, but man, if it's legal in your state or whatever, knock yourself out, man. Enjoy. I mean, God bless you. But to make it a matter of federal law, it was bad law. Kick it back to the states. Let all the local people decide. It ain't this, and of course, Justice Roberts is a coward. He's trying to keep the court together. So I'll go over to the liberal side. If you read what was leaked, he's doing his standard. I'm a coward in the middle. He's voting against this, but he's saying he upholds the Mississippi 15-week ban or whatever it is. I don't want to get too much into this, but it's incredible to me to see how crazy people are, right? Men can have babies now, so pick your lane of crazy. Which crazy lane are we in today? Women, men don't have an opinion about abortion. The next day, men can have babies and are better swimmers than women. I can't keep up with crazy, right? It's pretty funny. I love Elon Musk, man. I could not be more of Elon. He's just taking a flamethrower to all of this stuff. So, or birthing person, right? Right. And to all the scared women tonight, I'm like, that's a weird way to spell birthing person. Aren't they birthing people now? Isn't that like Harvard and all these medical schools? Well, we're not going to call them women. They're birthing people. This is the hill the Democrats want to die on. Men shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies. Apparently, I've been keeping up on current events. Men can have babies now too. Pick your lane of crazy and stay in it. So, not an abortion debate, guys, but it's even if you are pro-abortion, you can maybe agree in the middle that it's bad law up here. Remand it to the states. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so this draft opinion being published early is an extraordinary breach of deliberations. They're trying to so again, January 6th, trying to influence the results of an election. You're going to jail for 20 years for sitting in Nancy Pelosi's chair, trying to threaten the lives of Supreme Court justices or to intimidate a court decision. I'm telling you, you guys know where I stand on the Republic. It's going down the shitter. I had a heart-to-heart with my son this week, and I'm like, buddy, I support you wanting to be an officer in the Marine Corps, and I don't want you to do it, period. You think I want you fucking dying in Eastern Europe for Joe Biden? How many billion? $33 billion Going to Ukraine, 60,000 homeless veterans, 22 a day kill themselves. We're losing a fucking war at home. We're losing at home. Our borders are wide open, but we're going to go secure Ukraine's borders. Nancy Pelosi flies to Ukraine, doesn't fly to our southern border. I can't. Matthew, we all went to the commissioning ceremony for some of his buddies, a joint commissioning ceremony, space, coasties, Navy, Marine, Army. And I looked at these guys. I can't believe I was that young. They're kids. I'm like, oh my God, I was a kid and they sent me to Navy flight school. What a bunch of idiots. But I can't. I think it's awful. We can't even take care of our own country. And I am telling you, I've told you, I've been right on this all the way down. People are like, we're this is the bottom. I'm like, we're not even close to the bottom. When you look at let's just bring this up. We're not even close, guys. We have so much more to go. It's not even funny. Let's just do this, because when you look at this, when you take a step back, when you get up to 50,000 feet, folks, I mean, it's just when you look, about 10 year. So again, Bart does a better job at this. Bart will see everybody in Tomcat charts tonight. I'm going to the Panthers game to watch them beat up on the Caps. If you're in Lifetime, it's included. If you're in Zone 5, it's included. If you're just in Tomcat charts, it's not. So let me continue drawing that. We have more to go. Okay. So we're going lower, and I'm going to tell you we're going to go incredibly lower when Vladimir Putin starts using tactical nukes, which, according to some little birdies, he has already done it, and we are not talking about it. So look at what Wiz has been drawing for about a month. Does anybody see where that drill bit went to? We will see S&P 4,000 easily before this thing ever takes a break. As I'm coughing here and drinking my coffee, the Fed is meeting and drinking their coffee. I love seeing all the reports, the constant frothing at the mouth. It's baked in, half is baked in. They're going to stop after this. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if we were calculating inflation the way we used to calculate inflation for decades and decades and decades, it's at like 30%. It's something insane, upper 20s, last metric I saw. People are burning to death in inflation. And the perma bulls are doing, this is all baked in. It's all, after tomorrow, it's baked in. So this is could not be more bearish. However, Peggy Noonan, kind of a never Trumper in middle of the road, she's okay. It seems unthinkable, but Americans' leaders' failure to think about it heightens the risk it will happen. This was one of the best ones I've seen in a while. He may break the nuclear taboo in Ukraine. Like I said, might have been done already, and the Western governments are sitting on it. I'm not talking Hiroshima style. The Soviets are beating us, or have until they start using them. They have way more tactical field artillery and small yield nukes than we do. And with Russia, literally at bingo fuel, they are almost out of weapons, according to our intel agencies. Like, they're running out of shit. What are you going to use? I'm serious, folks. And if you're the 11th general who hasn't been killed, who is like, your supply officer comes up to you for the morning brief and goes, dude, we're out of freaking weapons, man. China ain't sending them over there too fast enough, or Iran or North Korea. He's running out of weapons. What's in that back closet? Nukes. Oh, and by the way, a shitload of chemical weapons. Oh, I do not want to be right at this, guys. I'm using my brain. I'm talking to people, and it might have been done already. So Throw that into everything that's going on. You see a lower third on your screen that says breaking news, nuclear detonation in Ukraine, the market will be down 50%. The VIX will be up at 100. I guarantee you. If you're in an XLF, goodbye. I'm sorry, an ETF or the XLF. These ETFs, man, that have no liquidity in them are going to be destroyed. Doug, I'm hearing that as well. I think that was in the Journal last night. They're like, we're running out of weapons. This is bad, guys. This is half my life. Yeah, 3/4 of my life where, or no, a third of my life was military, and still keep in touch with folks. Saw a lot of. Was talking to a 2-star up at Norwich. Just there's bad. This is awful. Oh God, yeah, I posted that last night in the Afterburner, man. The Raytheon. Where's my Raytheon post? It was a great write-up on the defense stocks. It was the head of Raytheon, like, oh man, all our supplies are getting down, and we need. Oh, here it is, bullish RTX. Push to arm Ukraine, putting strain on U.S. weapons stockpile. The big defense contractors face some serious challenges. Oh. What are their serious challenges? We're running out of weapons. Oh. Joe Biden is going where today? Roll Tide. He's going to Lockheed Martin. Going to a company. Whoops. Could this be a problem? Yes. The Stingers and Javelins, we're seeing the most significant inventory issues. Oh. The CEO of Raytheon's down here somewhere. Where is he? Biden will visit Lockheed Martin, Chuck Schumer. Okay. This ad is playing Oh my God. Stop talking. God. You know what? Since that video played, I'm going to go buy whatever that guy's telling me. Raytheon, for example, simply can't crank out Stingers to replace the 1,400 that are sent to Ukraine. The Raytheon CEO said in a recent conference call with analysts that the company has only limited supplies of components to make the missiles. Oh. Only one undisclosed country has been buying them in recent years, and the Pentagon hasn't bought any new ones in 20 years. Concerns about Stinger stockpiles have going on in Congress. So Rogers said he remains concerned that the matter hasn't been properly addressed. I've been asking DOD for almost 2 months for a plan to replenish our Stinger stockpile, and our Javelin units. Bullish defense contractors. I wasn't initially, but now I am, because Joe Biden keeps sending weapons over there and not caring about veterans in the United States. So you guys know we've nailed this. Another career call. Victory lap time. Told you. Joe Biden sophomore year. Recession, bear market. I said that 18 months ago. Nailed it. Did you see the GDP print? What was that, on Friday? Unbelievable, or whenever it was. Negative? How many times have we talked about that the data are rearward facing? We're in a recession right now, guys, I guarantee you. 6 months from now, or actually after the election, of course, the BLS or whatever it is, whoever does that calculation, the Commerce Department, will say we've been in a recession. It'll be after the election. So unbelievable. GDP sucks. Everything sucks. Is the U.S. going to transition from stagflation directly into a full-blown economic depression? Sounds familiar. So let me go strategic real quickly. Anybody looking for a bottom or to get bullish or anything like that, hasn't been paying attention at all to anything. This cycle is over. The cycle of cheap money. You see Peppermint Patty the other day, somebody's asked, like, have you guys looked at the impact on inflation of just like forgiving all student loan debt? And she's like, an outside agency has, and I don't have that data in front of me. Lie. But it's over with, guys. I just showed you that S&P 500, man. So if you look 5-10 years on the S&P and this type of thing with, a COVID in there and a COVID whatever, after the COVID whatever, this happened. And now we're kind of doing this. But folks, markets go up over time, but we have a lot to go down. This is not idle chatter. The fact that we are even talking about nuclear war, and Mumbles McShitty Pants said what a couple months ago? He uses something like that, it will respond in kind. What? That was like the 3 days in a row where the White House had to walk back everything that Joe Biden said. Joe Biden does not speak for the President of the United States. So what's going to happen? A lot of bad. We are in the stag part of stagflation. That GDP, it's awful, folks. When I talk to those small business and medium-sized Whirlpool folks from New Jersey to Montana, first of all, their main business is stagnating. People aren't buying new appliances; they are repairing. So they're serving, sales down, repair up. But guess what? We can't get parts. Oh, these people were literally at war with each other. It was interesting because they're kind of independent folks, and if they're near each other, they compete. It was really cool. It was a good event. I had a great time, but I love doing that stuff, man. I can't wait to get back out on the road and be doing more of this stuff. They already booked me for next year for Marco Island for their next offsite. So, but there's nothing bullish out there. I'm bullish on psychedelics. You guys know that. And I'll tell you something else I'm bullish on. But we're going down. Even Bezos the other day. Markets teach and the lessons can be painful. The NASDAQ was down 13% in April. I haven't talked to you guys since April. Matthew's birthday, Susie's birthday, and a graduation. Big week. It's the 12th worst month ever. And even Jeff Bezos is like, holy, we'll talk Amazon too in a little bit, but every metric is bearish. Here's what I was getting at. If anybody is sitting here looking for the bottom or, hey, this thing's going to turn, we are in a new era, ladies and gentlemen. And it's clear, just checking some comments and message boards and stuff, and especially Twitter, that people haven't seen this before. I have. I'm old enough to remember these type of cycles. But I got to be honest with you. In most of those cycles, I mean, some were pre-internet, before Al Gore was born and invented the internet, that back in the day, people's mindset shifted. People were like, okay, bearish cycle, and everybody settled into it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have that. We have the entitlement generation. Pay off my student loans. If your student loan doesn't give you enough value to pay for you to pay it off, why does it have enough value to me to pay it off? I think it's a great issue. Republicans can go into the elections and be like, hey, all you Democrat voters, Democrat base, blue collar folks, I drank for 4 years and partied. You're paying for it. Thank you. It's a great issue to run on. Yeah, exactly, mortgage relief. But here's what I'm getting at. So first of all, the entitlement generation is the last generation in the world you want to forgive debt on. It's disgusting, these people. Forgiving debt, first of all, you don't forgive. Somebody's on the hook for it. But anyway, and of course my headset's starting to beep. But markets teach and lessons can be painful. We are going lower. Jeff Bezos, here's what's funny too. Last week, of course, now that I have another Twitter account and can start taking a flamethrower to people, all these liberals frothing at the mouth about Elon Musk and his $44 billion. And he just lost $9 billion in Tesla after his Twitter purchase. I'm like, Tell me you know nothing about what's going on in the overall stock market without telling. I mean, everybody started slamming that, and I'm like, Jeff Bezos just got destroyed. $13 billion, and obviously this was days ago, which is probably about, I don't know, 15 to $20 billion. He's actually in the hole right now. Not in the hole, but yeah. So this is interesting, right? What else do I have to talk about? Oh, this guy was on this morning. Paul Jones is a smart dude. I can't think of a worse environment. Clearly, you don't want to own bonds and stocks. Wow. Now, I had my briefing card done before I watched that guy this morning, because here was what I was going to tell you. We'll talk about maybe one or two bullish things if you're really interested. We'll talk bearish, but you guys know me. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't play one on TV. I personally have invested in 2 fighter jets and a movie, okay, and our house. We're redoing bathrooms and kitchens. It is time to invest in things that have value. Amazon has value. It does. Now it's down $1,000 in about a week or a month or whatever. I get it. And you guys know Amazon ain't going out of business. It's physically impossible at this point. Even if they did go out of business, they'd have to sell airplanes, warehouses, and everything. So they have assets, they have things. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to shift into things that have value. Now, fill in the blank. There are what? Value stocks. We talked, maybe it was the last week or 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, man, you want to get into something? Buy McDonald's. That's a recession-proof stock. And as a matter of fact, if you do the research and back-test it, McDonald's tends to go up in a recession. Why? Because they have a dollar menu. Nothing like, hey, I can't afford to eat, and I'm going to go to McDonald's. Heart attack arriving. So it is time. When you hear Paul Tudor Jones say you shouldn't be in stocks and bonds right now, that's shocking. No, it's not, because we're at Top Gun Options. We knew all this was coming. So as opposed to the COVID crash, remember, for those of you who are here and were made millionaires, you're welcome. On the way down, all these type of guys were saying what? Oh, this is the bottom. Oh, I'd nibble here. I'd definitely nibble here. Definitely the bottom. Donald Trump, this is the bottom. Get in. Deleted the tweet the next day when the market went down 3,000. This time, they learned their lesson. They're licking their wounds and going, oh boy. So the environment, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very long road to a small house. Change your mindset, or don't. I'm here to give you a brief. You're a general, you're an admiral, I'm a lowly lieutenant giving you an intel brief. If you haven't changed your strategic mindset, that's on you. The wishing, the hoping there's a bottom in here sometime soon is foolish, in my opinion. There isn't. I think the next 2 quarters are negative GDP growth. The supply chain issues have you seen, I was reading some articles. I love airplane flights now because I just read. I get all the intel. The potash, all the fertilizer crap, for people who live in this and trade this stuff, holy crap, it's a nightmare what's going on. Down in Brazil, obviously all the X amount of percentage of fertilizer comes from Ukraine, and it ain't anymore. Unbelievable. Food, did you hear Peppermint Patty last month? There might be food shortages, and then they kind of walked that back. He warned investors to prioritize capital preservation in such challenging environment for virtually anything. I don't know if it's going to be one of those periods where you actually try to make money. Holy crap. The Fed's actions will tip the U.S. economy in a recession. I've actually predicted this as well. The Fed actually at this point, once you want me on that wall, wants inflation. It wants a recession because they can kick it in the teeth. It will throttle it back. They've got inflation on one hand, slowing growth on the other. Exactly. Unbelievable. It's hard to not want to be long crypto. Well, you lost me at that. Unbelievable, guys. And yet, the world of commission rakers and asset gatherers continue to press the silver lining just over the horizon, and the term priced in morphs to a whole new meaning. That article ended with us. I love that. I love us being smart. I didn't even read down here. And that's what we said. This ain't priced in, guys. I guarantee you. We're seeing this in earnings, ladies and gentlemen. We're finally seeing bad earnings news is bad earnings news, and stocks going down. Corporate sentiment is in the shitter. This is the end of the euphoria phase. And ladies and gentlemen, one more time, in case you didn't hear me, if you think Jerome Powell's going to come to the rescue this time, you're wrong. I really believe this time the dude's like, holy shit, we effed up. Again, we're sitting in back. We see both engines on fire. We've already hit the ground, and Jerome's still making airplane noises up in the cockpit that he's going to try and land this thing safely. We've already crashed. It's like the beginning of Steve Austin, right? The $6 million man turning down the runway. Or because of inflation, it's the $32 billion man. You ready? Here's what I'm bullish on. Paramount. The fact that they reported earnings this morning and they're down 7% is a God moment. Paramount misses quarterly revenue estimates and weak ad sales. None of that is going to matter in 24 days. Sat on the airplane doing some math, some political science math, so this might be completely wrong. But just, and it's tough to use 1986 project. Top Gun, the original, made like $400 million. This, in my research, is a multi-billion dollar franchise. Maverick. Not only in America, but around the world. Now, don't know if Vlad's going to be, showing a rah-rah Top Gun movie in his country or China, even though Tom didn't. They took the flag of Taiwan off of his old leather jacket. I have it on first-hand account because my brother Ferg was standing with Tom. They were shooting the shit on the carrier one time, and he talked about that. He's like, fucking cowards taking the Taiwan flag off my jacket and this and that. He's like, I'd love to, I give him half credit. He's like, Paramount just, Tom doesn't even have that much star power, apparently. Paramount's like, take the Taiwan flag off because we're playing this in China. So I get it. He didn't go full-blown LeBron, like public, like, I salute my Chinese dear overlords. But at least we all know on the down low, Tom Cruise is like, this is fucked. This is bullshit. So, and Paramount Plus, there is a lot of good content on Paramount Plus. My brother from another mother, AJ Buckley, CBS, or not, I will drop the word CBS, Paramount Plus SEAL team. I think AJ's coming down to the event. He's got some shoot he's going to try and come from. But actually, it's off the lows of the day. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. I would get bullish on Paramount. Period. You know what? Let me take this thing off. It's really annoying me. It's been beeping for the past. Can you guys hear me? Sorry about that. Let me charge this right now before I forget. Didn't pre-flight it. Get back from a long trip. Of course, it's your headset's sitting here, and the battery's dead. All right. So, but I will be honest. This is a couple day old thought thing. This is a trade idea that I'm tossing over the fence to you. Doesn't there's the merger and everybody knows about that. But I got to be honest with you. The Maverick franchise is going to be insanely historic. There's nothing. It's just insane. Multi-billion franchise. When Maverick premieres on the 27th,
And that Monday comes around, Memorial Day, and they report Memorial Day weekend launch sales. I think they're going to be epic. I just think they're going to be epic. So this, again, is a new, I haven't followed Paramount. I don't trade Paramount. So is it a foray? No, because we're looking into the future. That's how you trade anything. Option stocks, you don't look into the past and you don't look at today. Actually, we do look at today. It opened up down 7% and now it's recovered some of that. Maybe let's just get in here. And the other thing, the other trade idea is what? Who is getting bearish on volatility? It is time to do that. Now, let's do this first because I don't want to run out of time. You should be now. Let me do let's go revert. Let's red team before I even tell you what I'm thinking. Low yield nuke gets reported. The VIX does this. I guarantee you that happens. Talking to my mastermind group, catching up with folks, they're like, "Holy shit, man! If I see breaking news of a nuke being used and the market's going to go to zero," I'm like, "Hey, man." So, Bob, will the limousine liberals bash the movie and or watch it? So, Bob, last week when it was at Comic-Con Maverick release. So it was Tom Cruise surprises. Where is it? Like, I don't have it. I don't have it, Bob. If somebody can Google it from the Afterburner group, or I posted it. The review, is this it? The reviews of this, Bob, not one negative review, and a lot of these reviewers ain't, pro-military dyed in the wool folks. Somebody find that one because it had the thread of all the reviews, like the Twitter reviews. It had like 15 reviews from big critics. One of the guys was like, I thought this was going to suck. I'm no rah-rah, cheesy cheerleader popcorn movie. I cried, I laughed, I yelled, I'm like, holy crap. So the answer is yes. I need to, somebody find that. Scroll up in the Lifetime, or maybe it's one of my tweets. I can find it. I think I tweeted it. But you have to read these reviews. I'm blown away. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be massive. Somebody find that for me. How about Naomi Judd committing suicide? What an absolute horror. 33-year-old quit her job to start her own business. She makes 120 grand a month as a shaman. There you go. Posted that on my Twitter. Everybody's following me on Twitter. Elon could have ended world hunger with $43 billion instead of buying Twitter. The Department of Defense spent 20 years, $3 trillion, and thousands of lives to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. Isn't it funny that liberals froth at the mouth about what Elon does with his own personal money, but what the Department of Defense or your government does with their money is wrong. Anyway, somebody, if you can find that, let me know because it was cool. Oh, hey, everybody remember, this is where Federal Reserve officials sold their assets to avoid conflicts of interest. Everybody remember when that happened? Oh, this is kind of a chart. There, anybody's come on. Whoop. I mean, even if you kind of did something like that, yeah. Funds have been reducing maybe because they know that Oh yeah, well here's one of them. I retweeted this guy because he wasn't a big supporter. One word, wow. Maverick is absolutely terrific in every conceivable way. The action and flying is crazy intense and continually changes and evolves. You're on the edge of your seat. I was not prepared for how emotional it was, too. The crowd cheered a dozen times. It's real. Oh, yeah, it is. I found it. Oh, this is from Variety. Yay! Top Gun Maverick blows CinemaCon away. First reactions hail a perfect blockbuster. Read this article. I'll give you the link because look, it has all the tweets of all the critics. I was blown away. Let me give you the link to this. So here's all your commit criteria. I don't want to take too much more time on Paramount. You know what though? Because I want to talk VIX, but maybe we'll do Paramount in AR as a longer term bullish trade because I want to talk volatility. Let's go back to the VIX here. So let's red team. Sorry, Bob got me distracted, but it's a good question because anytime I throw out a potential trade idea that I'm looking at, I want to. If you got a red team, man, we got to fire it and take a look. It's possible, Bob, that Hollywood just goes, we hate the military and we're not going to watch it. I doubt it because usually when there's something like this, Hollywood gets dragged kicking and screaming towards it, right? What was that? What's that self-funded movie called? The Passion or Christ or whatever it is? Like, oh my gosh, evangelicals go to movies? Anyway, here's what I'm getting at. The probability of this happening ain't zero, right? That a nuke gets used, something gets worse, something horrific happens. I mean, we know there's war crimes being committed. The Soviets can't compete, apparently, with the Ukrainian military, so now they're just shooting civilians and blowing up and just killing. So somebody tell me why they would not use a nuke. Anybody think that Vladimir Putin is scared of Joe Biden? Come on, you don't even have to answer it. Or Kamala, or Nancy Five Scotch Pelosi, who flew to Ukraine but can't fly to Del Rio, Texas. So before you even think about getting bearish on volatility, you have to, that's a distinct possibility, man. All right, now that I've thoroughly scared you about getting bearish on volatility, let's talk about why volatility might go down. Wiz, that doesn't look like a pretty chart. Duh, I kind of told you it was going to do this. Here's what I'm getting at. This is the trend. We will have these on the way down. We will have some relief rallies or bear market rallies. And that one and that one, while I've been on the road, were what? CNBC and all the bullish people all over them like, oh, that's the bottom. I'm like, are you insane? I don't think you've been keeping up on current events, pal, but we just got our asses kicked. Love that guy from Aliens. So here's what I'm getting at. Here's why volatility can go down. This is what? Known. Remember, volatility can settle down. Wiz, it's a shit show out here. Yeah. Everybody, institutional investors, retail investors, know it's a shit show. You ain't telling us anything new. Now, a nuke, a this, a that, a whatever, a bad happening, vol will pop, but it will also settle back down. This is a very important time for you to kind of get educated on knowing this. That once things kind of settle into what they're doing, you know, they'll go down. Let's on over to VIX Central, Karen. Let's go take a look. Oh, yeah. So on VIX Central, the VIX Central just kind of confirmed what I'm saying. This right here, folks, is what? the market kind of going, we know suckiness is coming, right? We're already at war in Europe. We already know China's going to take Taiwan. When they actually do, we might get a freak. We know that GDP is horrific. We know that the Fed's raising rate. What is unknown right now? The only unknown I could say, we know that earnings suck and corporations are just. So once all of this is known, folks, we start getting into a a thing, a routine. So I almost think that, and again, I'm still getting up to speed. I'm getting back in the swing of things. If Putin's going to use a nuke, it's going to be soon, right? Like I said, I've seen a ton of stuff that's Russia's running. We're running out of weapons. Russia's running out of weapons. I should tell you something. It's kind of weird. It's a month-long war right now, and people are running out of weapons. Everybody relying on the high-tech, gee whiz things, and instead of like quantity. That's why China scares me. China's got cannon fodder. They'll just send 1 billion people swarming the fence line, the tree line, man. So, let me go with this as my commit criteria right now for not doing anything with volatility. I feel it's time to get a little bearish on volatility, but I'm not 100% there. I'm never really 100% on any trade, obviously, or you never make money. So, as many of you have heard me talk about volatility, getting bearish on it, I don't mind being a little bit, late. I like a little confirmation. I don't mind like getting to the airport yesterday with my mom because she needed a wheelchair and stuff. I didn't mind being early. I hate showing up to the airport like 2 hours early like my dad would. Now I have to. So, if you like adventure, maybe look at getting bearish volatility here. I gave you all my commit criteria. I rambled through it. But I could also give you some bullish on volatility commit criteria. Talking to some folks that think, you know what, they've probably used the tactical nuke artillery pieces already. And maybe Uncle Department of Defense or MOD, Ministry of Defense, really don't want to put that out right now. So it was Christina. I am. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. Sorry. Let me take at least 2 minutes and just show you some pictures real quick because I am a proud dad. It was definitely a cool moment seeing my boy. That was an interesting time. He had a year at home with the scandemic, the pandemic. Keely got her braces off this morning, so that's a good day. Jack made his youth U18 AA hockey team yesterday, so I'm in a good mood. So, I was waiting on the edge of the stage when Matthew's name got announced. Norwich did it was a joint graduation. It was the civilian folks and also the Corps cadets. So I did exactly what my dad did. After I got off the stage, I went right up to the front and, did you hear me? That was me. Yeah. That's my boy. Gave him a big hug. So there's the first year, Matthew. That's when we dropped him off as a rookie, right? And then there he is, cadet, second lieutenant. Man, 4 years, just absolutely flew by. Keely and Jack gave him a bottle of champagne. I don't know where they got that. There's my mom. Love my mom. She made it. And Norwich is a bunch of hills, man. So I commandeered a golf cart and we took care of my mom. So that was good. And then some of his club hockey guys got his Norwich ring on there. Really, really cool. Very proud of my boy. God is great. Yep, very good time. That's Susie's parents, so they made it as well. Got a beautiful house up in Vermont to stay at, so that was cool. So thank you. All right, so I'm not feeling it. I would get bearish. I was getting ready to place a S. I know Sledge knocked one out this morning right at the open, which was a good shot. I'd put on a bear. You know, this is what we're going to do, and we've nailed each one of it. It's going to look like it is looking like the COVID crash, folks. That's exactly what this is. Sell every one of these. You see this little pop? We had a 1 day pop drop, 2 day pop drop, 2 day pop climb. It could. I think we see 4,100 again before we go any higher. So but here's why am I also sitting on my hands, guys? I don't like doing this anymore. The stove is hot. Why am I sitting on my hands this week? Except for maybe some Paramount. You got it, Ray. What happened so this is a coin flip right here. I have no idea. Well, somebody's going to have an idea. I love watching the S&P 500 the day of a Fed announcement because you can see when something leaks, like a Supreme Court ruling. I hope we have a lot of mostly peaceful protests and cities burned down. But anyway, I do not want to do anything this week. The only thing I would do, nibble on some Paramount as it's down here. I love the down 4, 5, 7%. I should have done it at the open. If it is going to, but it should be Para, right? Paramount Global. What's Para A? Oh, that's the Class A shares. No, it's this one. I don't know what that is. It's this one. This one has 9.6 million shares traded in 32 minutes or whatever. What's this one? The A has 27,000. So it's Para. Anyway, so I actually have an email out to a buddy in my mastermind group who's like he's the sin guy and he follows this stuff and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. He's probably busy trading this morning. But let's look at Para for AR after I do a little bit more intel. I don't think it's a 4A. Like I said, when I read this stuff, I was blown away. I'm like, these critics, unbelievable. Top Gun Maverick nails it. Huge, emotional, loud Hollywood movie making at its most rah-rah ridiculousness. Shirtless beach football, Kenny Loggins, Val Kilmer. Final 30 minutes of pure action. Also, extremely interesting geopolitical angle I'll have to get into later. Ooh. Top Gun Maverick. Just because something is predictable doesn't make it any less satisfying. It has near identical structure with Goose, with his son. Absolutely killer air action. It's exactly what fans want. Absolutely loved. Blown away by the cinematography. Ferg told me. Intake, my brother Intake, who flew for the Blue Angels and flies for the Patriot jet team, did most of the air shooting. When Intake tells me, dude, when we came out of the canyon, I almost hit the helicopter. I'm like, nice. So anyway, I don't want to take up too much more time. Read all this stuff. Top Gun Maverick is going to completely blow away fans of the original and may even make some new ones along the way. Duh. Truthfully, even the plot is very dependent of the original. I found it to be better than the original in almost every way. Top Gun Maverick is the perfect blockbuster. Not only did it feature dazzling aerial scenes, but I actually cried. It's that emotional. And call me crazy, but I humbly predict that it will end land a Best Picture nod next year. It's not that good. It's very good. So, our producer, Lee Simons, I said, if we don't get the Oscar for Best Documentary, you failed. I'm like, it's a layup, Lee. Let's go documentary. He's like, from your mouth to God's ears. So anyway, there's your bullish commit criteria. Oh, really, Rick? Good intel, Rick. Market Smith is projecting 300% higher volume in Para today. Huh. If you like buying something at a discount that potentially is going to have a blockbuster franchise, there's your trade idea of the day. It is, Tamara. Tamara is exactly right. Usually sequels suck. All the things that I'm reading is it's actually so. Here's one of the reasons it's going to be better. Ain't no I think they referred like there's like one CGI scene and that's it. The original Top Gun Maverick, 90% of the movie was CGI with some actual flying sprinkled in. Ferg's like, dude, the flying sequences are insane. Every actor shot in the cockpit of a Hornet. When I asked Ferg, I'm like, it was rumored that Paramount almost got the Navy to let Tom fly his own Hornet. They were going to put him through the training. He's his own pilot. And Ferg's like, Wiz, yeah. He's like, I became the dick because Big Navy's like, are you insane? And he went with that. They met with Tom and Jerry Bruckheimer, went and met with whoever. And he's like, Ferg, I'm going to use you as the speed bump. And Ferg's like, okay. CGI, computer generated image. Computer. CGI. Yeah. So anyway, guys, so back in the saddle. I appreciate you letting me go speak to Whirlpool. It's bad. It doesn't get more American business than that. Whirlpool from St. Joseph's, Michigan, meeting with all the small to medium business owners that sell Whirlpool and also service them. Wiz, it's a nightmare out there. It's better than it was. The analogy I used from the stage: crawl, walk, run. And the executives said the same thing. They're like, dude, we've been crawling for 2 years. We're back on the treadmill, starting to walk. So I kind of gave my keynote about getting to sprint, but they're walking right now, but they're not super bullish. The war in Ukraine, the parts issues, and yeah, as somebody said earlier, hey man, that dishwasher got a computer chip in it. Appliances are computers now. So China invades Taiwan, and guess what? There it goes. So anyway, let's tighten up tomorrow. Looking at Paramount, I would not. I thought about it, but if you're going to look at an SPX day trade, it would be a day trade. Do not have anything on for the Fed. Okay, I wouldn't. It's a coin flip. Jerome Powell tomorrow could say 50 points and we're done. And you will see a rip your face off rally. Somebody said that this morning. I'm like, I didn't even think about that. It's a possibility, guys. Jerome Powell. You know what? I think a half will do it for the time being. Boom! You will see 1,000-point rally in the Dow. I guarantee it. So I don't like that. If you are going to do a little bearish or bullish SPX sniper, do it for today only. I wouldn't, even though it's a tomorrow expiration. I wouldn't be doing it. So their aftermarket, I thought they already came out. That's why it's down. It was this morning, guys. It's not aftermarket close. I briefed this already. It came out before market open, folks. It's not after the close. They already came out. That's why it opened down 7%. There are Tuesday expirations on SPX, really? When did that launch? Was I asleep? Last week? Man, I missed that. Oh, look at this. Every day. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, there's not Thursday in here. So they're going to daily expirations in SPX. Wow. You know, I did. I got an email from the SIBO on that. I forgot about that. I filed that into. Yeah. Okay. Good. So maybe if I do an SPX day trade, I'll send it out to everybody, not just the hunters in the lifetime. I have my my SMS broadcaster up right here, so I will send it out. But let me feel it out. So yeah, Gene, I did too. I forgot about that. My bad. I've been heads down on other things. So yeah, I'm going to look at an SPX. So your homework is to look at VIX, start feeling out bullish or bearish on VIX. Take a look at Paramount. The rest of today, like I said, I'm going to try and get with my SIN guy to ask him about Paramount, so I'll have more intel. So VIX and Paramount, and then if I do an SPX trade today, I'll text it out and email it out to the joint list, the primary and the weekly options. Oh, Amazon, shit. This is technically a solo Amazon brief. You ready? It goes lower. I'll knock out Amazon real quick. It keeps going lower. They better hope the split comes up soon, man. So it looks like a cheap stock. I mean, it's just the fangs are. I mean, what did I tell you last week? Holy shit, man! Look at that, 2,800. What did I say? 2,600. There is nothing. Brent, there probably will be. I like the way you think. Eric, it's soon. I would buy. When's the no shits date? Does anybody have that handy? I don't have my Amazon book in front of me. Thought it was June. I don't. I forget. Let's just figure it out. Let me Google it. How about that? June 3rd. Good job, Joe. June 3rd. So we are 30 days out from the Amazon split. Somebody write this down. Let's get ready. I'd go 2 weeks, 3 weeks if you want to be early. It's a Friday. Maybe May 16. Why am I doing this? Because the market, as you all know, folks, an hour is a lifetime in this market. There is so much between now and June 3rd. Hell, we're long, Maverick launches, all the world. There could be a nuke. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before Amazon officially splits, I'd get bullish. Because you guys know what happens. People don't understand math. I could never buy any Amazon. It's too expensive. I only have 10 grand. Oh, now that it's $100, I can buy it. We get math. Many people don't. So there's that. Okay, so good question. I would buy some Amazon, but it's not for a while. I think it still has some room to go down. So, all right, guys, I got to get going. Sorry, I went a little bit long. Not ready to pull the trigger on VIX, bearish, or Paramount yet. Like I said, let me try and get with my buddy and feel out some intel. And I'm doing some more reading about Paramount today, just because I think, folks, this 1986, and if you look at the properties, I mean, Netflix getting destroyed. Money is going to flow in this space to who has great content. If the critics aren't lying to us, which why would they lie unless they're all being paid by Paramount, which they could be. But even the rah-rah people were like, I thought I was going to be turned off. I wasn't. I haven't seen one negative review of Maverick yet. But it can happen. But why wouldn't you get bullish on something that is about to absolutely potentially explode? So if you are trying to do your perma bull, even though you should have shifted your strategic mindset to bearish by now, look at Paramount. So, all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge and God bless. Namaste. Do me a favor, get over there to No Fallen Heroes and like this page, man. If you are on Facebook, I need you to like the No Fallen Heroes page. We need your help. There's only 48 people. There's more than 48 people in this brief. If you don't have a Facebook page, you're excused. Go get one. Need to follow our Instagram. Only 42 followers. We need more than that. Do it right now before you leave. And then Twitter. We're also doing our LinkedIn. How many do we have now? 7. We got 11. Come on. I know most of you in this room hate Twitter. Don't. With Elon, I mean, let me throw this over the shoulder before I walk out. I don't know if it happens. It's only $1 billion for him to walk away, which he can find in his couch. But him coming in here and like Jesus and the money changers, just smacking people around, he could leave. Wouldn't it be the ultimate awesomeness to leave and then say, oh, by the way, in the background, I had this thing getting made. It's Elon Musk social. Everybody come over here. Holy shit. Twitter stock implodes. Boom. So, yeah, this is not a done deal, ladies and gentlemen. Elon could walk away, and I think that would be a baller move. That would be awesome. You know what? I'm good. I'm not going to buy this shithole and leave. So, all right, guys, I got to run. I'll get the replay posted here shortly, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in a weekly option. God bless. Hey, make sure you share those pages with all your friends and family, too. Okay? Thanks, guys. See ya.